The latest ITV News in the Tyne Tees region with Ian Payne and Amy Lee.
Hello there, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us.
On tonight's programme, honouring a Navy veteran. Servicemen and women respond to an appeal for mourners, with no family members left to attend today's funeral.
The growing number of vehicles being damaged by winter potholes.
In football, Middlesbrough lose their top slot after a tough night at Coventry.
And how the creators of Viz Comic are celebrating North Shields and its characters to mark the town's 800th year.
First tonight to the many former servicemen and women who turned out to honour a Royal Navy veteran from Tyneside who died with no family left to attend his funeral.
Anthony Hopper served his country for almost 25 years. He died from dementia in a care home last month after outliving his relatives. He was 92.
His carers made an appeal on social media for people to attend his funeral in Whitley Bay, and they had an overwhelming response, as our correspondent Rachel Bullock reports.
He was, they said, one of their own in life, and so, in death, they were here to give him a hero's farewell. Anthony Hopper joined the Royal Navy aged just 16, and for decades saw active service around the world. And while his memory was eventually taken by dementia, his service was not forgotten by fellow veterans who travelled to be here. Strangers perhaps, but forever comrades.
Once you're Navy, always Navy. He's always one of us. We don't forget. And if someone like him unfortunately dies alone like that, if we know about it, we will all turn up. As many as possible will turn up. Never forgot him. He was a chief just like me. But he gets his own honour guard there. We turn up with the standards, we turn up with the medal shown and everything. And it marks him out as different. It marks him out as, look, this man was something.
Mr. Hopper's final year was spent in a care home in Whitley Bay, where he told his carers he was on shore leave, a Royal Navy sailor to his very end. He outlived his wife and relatives, and so staff worked hard to make sure his final journey would not be alone.
It's incredibly touching, and we see this more often than not these days. People who don't have a family, we become their family, we do these sorts of things. It's a great honour and privilege to do it. Wonderful man, served in the Navy from the age of 16, lived with us for just over a year, always thought he was on shore leave, utter gentleman, great fun, entertaining. But yeah, the Navy was his life, utter privilege to care for somebody of this magnitude.
Very proud, very proud. And he served on many ships, saw a bit of the world, came home, lived back amongst the neighbours and friends and family, and people wouldn't have known much about him. But when he turned up with us guys, you were a warrior, you're still a warrior.
A fitting and final goodbye to one of their own. Honouring a sailor and now a friend. Rachel Bullock, ITV News.
Remembering Anthony Hopper. Next tonight, damage to vehicles caused by potholes on our roads seems to be on the rise, and the cold weather certainly isn't helping drivers across our region.
As drivers are finding at the moment, potholes are springing up all over the place, faster than they can be fixed.
Yeah, and Greg Eastdale is in Northumberland, where there's been no escape even there, has there, Greg?
Well, Amy, put it this way, if you were driving to work this morning and thought to yourself, that pothole wasn't there this morning, you might well be right, because we are, I'm afraid, in prime pothole-making season, as it turned out. All that rain coupled with a cold snap just right for splitting the tarmac. And one of the most notable trouble spots, potentially, here in Thropton the last few days, just at the top of that bank there where a hole opened up last week. 2 vans suffered blown out tyres and ended up pulling into the lay-by next to me for a bit of a point of safety, as it were. Another car ran into trouble, but one more, just where you can see those cones are, well, he truly came a cropper, getting a lot of damage to the front end. The RAC say last year alone, they saw a 15% increase in this country in breakdowns connected with potholes. Nick Smith reports now on the problems opening up beneath our feet and beneath our tyres.
This was the moment a pothole did its damage. That impact resulted in a repair bill for the car, which was being driven by Richard Broadbent's wife.
So my wife was on the school run and hit this huge pothole. The tyre was split and the alloy wheel was quite badly dented. So obviously the tyre needed to go and the wheel needed a repair. And together it came to just under £190.
After lengthy exchanges with Richard, the local council did agree to pay for the repairs. It's the sort of pothole impact that RAC service technician Hugh Paul is coming across on a regular basis.
The damage we see day to day is snapped coil springs, leaking shock absorbers, worn or bent lower suspension arms, but we are seeing a definite increase.
In fact, the RAC has seen a 15% rise in call-outs to damage caused by potholes, which they say is the result of a short-term approach to road repairs.
You have to fix the pothole, but then if you don't seal the road by putting surface dressing on top of it in the spring and summer, then it's all going to reoccur in the winter, because you've got to seal the roads, you've got to stop water getting in, because water, of course, is the enemy. It gets into the surface, into the cracks, and then in the winter it will freeze and expand and crack the road, and more potholes will be formed.
The government has begun publishing data on the state of our roads. For example, in Northumberland, of the almost 450 miles of minor roads in the county, 5% are said to be in a poor condition. Northumberland County Council says it's taking steps to tackle the problem.
So we've brought an additional resource to help tackle the pothole issue, which is a yearly spike in pothole after the weather that we've had. So we've got additional resources in and doing a mixture of structural patching, like you can see behind us, and emergency temporary repairs.
The RAC says extra government funding and pressure on local authorities to carry out preventative maintenance work should improve roads in the future, although it will take time to tackle the problem of potholes. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
Well, as you can see, you don't have to walk or drive very far to find more spots where the tarmac's being broken open. And joining me now is Councillor Stephen Bridget, the Councillor for Rothbury and the Coquetdale. Stephen, what are your residents telling you about the state of the roads around here?
Obviously, the roads around here are in a shocking state, but even further up the Coquet Valley into Upper Coquetdale, they can't even be classified as roads anymore. They're taking up that much of the carriageway.
Now, we've been out, I think we can show you some pictures now of some of the images we've shot up on that road. There are, though, those that would say that, you know, councillors have only got so much money to spend, resources are stretched, they can't go around, they can't stay on top of every single pothole. How would you respond to that?
Well, they can't, but it's about spending the money more wisely that actually benefits not just residents, they are the priority, but tourists as well, because it is impacting tourism into this area with people damaging their vehicles.
Stephen, thank you very much for your time. Another side to the story, as you can imagine, and Northumberland County Council are telling us that they are completely committed to tackling the problem of potholes. They say that this is a vast area, but nonetheless they've had teams out every single day. They're repairing 500 potholes, they say, every week, and are also committed to adding more resources to helping fight that battle. But in truth, not just here, around all our local authorities, policing our potholes must feel increasingly like playing a giant game of whack-a-mole.
Greg, thank you very much indeed. We've all noticed that on the roads, wherever we are, if we've been driving or we've been a passenger, yep, it is a problem this time of year in particular. And are you watching ITV News Tyne Tea? Still to come on tonight's programme.
Viz does North Shields. The iconic magazine celebrates 800 years of the North Tyneside town.
And after a chilly start, some good spells of winter sunshine for us today, but the cloud is starting to increase. I'll have more on that later in the programme.
Now, the number of older people living on their own is predicted to rise significantly in the coming years. By 2032, we're told there'll be almost 1 million households made up of a solitary person aged 85 or over.
Well, given that, a charity is calling on the government to appoint a commissioner for older people to improve areas like access to jobs and living conditions. Hannah Arshad reports.
This seated exercise class for older people is held weekly on North Tyneside by Age UK.
It brings people together and improves their physical, the social, and mental well-being. People love to come here and meet and make friends.
Among those here is Jane Martin, who, like an increasing number of older people, lives alone.
When you're on your own, it's something to do. And quite often you don't feel, especially on mornings like this, you don't necessarily feel like coming out. But if you give yourself that push and get out, you always feel much better for it.
The latest figures suggest there'll even be more older people living alone in the future. There were 1.1 million households headed by someone aged 85 or over in 2022. By 2032, that figure is expected to be 1.5 million, and 2/3 of them will be people living alone. Experts say that's because of a combination of factors, such as divorce rates going up or people seeing their partners die, at the same time as people living longer.
We have a large cohort of people who were born after the Second World War in this country, and they are benefiting from advances, particularly in medicine and drugs, etc. And so all at the same time, we have these people living longer and longer. So we have this big bulge of older people who are now coming into retirement, and so long as they can live into their 80s and 90s, probably will have a big bulge of people who are in frailty and dependency.
One charity says the government needs to appoint a commissioner for older people to address such issues as making older people's homes safer to live in and giving them job opportunities if they want them.
It's about how can we make this country an age-friendly environment for people to grow old in and continue contributing to society and not face discrimination. So we need a champion, we need a commissioner who's going to hold employers to account, who's going to hold government to account and make this country a better place in which to grow old.
Campaigners say the issue needs to be talked about more so that we can draw on everything that older people can offer. Hannah Arshad, ITV News.
The ITV Evening News continues at 6:30 with your national and international headlines.
Some really worrying numbers on the state of children's teeth. Tens of thousands of children had their teeth extracted in hospitals last year due to decay, an increase that's costing millions. Giant of America's civil rights movement and protege of Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, died this morning at the age of 84. We'll have the latest reaction.
Don't believe in miracles, 'cause miracles will make you reach higher.
And look, Mum, no computer is named the UK's Eurovision entry, but can he take us all the way? Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Time for sport now. Simon has the latest for us.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
So Middlesbrough are off the top of the Championship. You were sent to Coventry last night, Simon, where you saw them beaten.
I did, but no one ever said promotion was going to be easy, did they? Borough came up short at their summit meeting in the West Midlands, and Coventry are back at number one for now. But as far as Middlesbrough are concerned, it was a setback, not a disaster. You could understand the confidence. Borough arrived at the Coventry Building Society Arena top of the table on the back of 6 league wins in a row. But Middlesbrough supporters also knew how hard this might be. Coventry isn't a happy hunting ground for their team. This season's Sky Blues were just behind Borough and have the Championship's best home record. They dominated the first half and deserved their 1-goal lead at the break. But this wasn't as comfortable for them as the final scoreline ultimately suggests. Middlesbrough had long spells of control, but they were accident-prone. A poorly conceded second goal, and then, after Riley McGree had brought the visitors back into the game, a quickly conceded third goal, a penalty for handball, which removed any doubt from the occasion. Fair play to Haji Riley, who took home the match ball after his hat-trick, and fair play to Coventry, who did deserve their win. But Borough had no need to cry themselves to sleep.
We will not win away against Coventry if we concede those type of goals, but I'm more looking at performance, and I think, again, we're going here. I think we have a lot of opportunities, but they score free.
I thought we were really good the second half, really good, but the first half just not enough.
Just felt like Coventry were better than us. They were more up for it, and yeah, for me, the better team won.
We love you, Borough! We do! We're still second!
If you win the 2 home games, you don't think about this too much tonight. We were only going to drop back to second, and that's where you want to be. First or second, I'm not bothered where we finish.
2 good teams. I think they'll be 1 and 2.
It was obviously, it hurts at the moment because if we'd have beaten Coventry, there would have been a really good gap. But yeah, we just got to go on it again, and we've got the players to do that, and we've got the system, we've got the belief in what we're doing, and we're scoring goals, so I'm sure we can get back on it again.
The game of pass the parcel continues at the top of the Championship. Coventry are back in front.
You know, we've got ourselves in this position. Borough are there, Ipswich are always going to be there because of their squad and the coach, and there's other teams around it, the Millwalls, etc. So it's game on, really.
It will be a race until the last day, probably, and just to try to enjoy it and look forward and develop from it.
Coventry and Middlesbrough both have 14 games to go, and other teams will still want to have their say. As Kim Helberg says, the automatic promotion race might go down to the wire. This was a setback, but that race is still there to be won.
Yeah, Kim Helberg will be expecting a reaction from his team, but there's no need for that to be an overreaction, is there, Simon?
No, absolutely not. They lost a big game. It hurts to lose big games, and it should hurt to lose big games, but there was always an understanding that this is a game that Borough might lose. It was a very tough game, so they don't have to worry about it too much. And as one of the gentlemen I spoke to after the match last night said in that report, they've got 2 home games to come. If you win those 2 home games, you don't worry too much about last night, given that Coventry at the same time have got 2 quite tough-looking away games, so they might find themselves back on top.
The other big game of the week is an away game, a long way away game. It's the first leg of Newcastle's Champions League playoff. It will have already kicked off by the time we're on air tomorrow night. It's a strange kick-off time for this one. They've gone a long way for it.
Yeah, they have. It's Newcastle United's journey of 2,529 miles to face Karabakh in Azerbaijan will actually be the longest ever distance travelled by an English team for a Champions League away match. So it's a 5,000-mile round trip. Who exactly are they playing, though, and are they going to win? Well, Karabakh isn't something you use to carry your shopping. They are the champions of Azerbaijan. They're actually a displaced club in that they originated in a place called Agdam, but haven't played in their hometown for more than 30 years because of a civil war involving Azerbaijan and Armenia. Karabakh now play in Baku, the capital city of Azerbaijan, at the Tofik Baramov Republican Stadium. They've really exceeded expectations to get this far in the Champions League, but they've never beaten an English team in European competition. So yes, Newcastle should win over 2 legs, providing they can cope with the air miles. And this is very much a playoff worth winning because the team that gets through already knows they'll get a glamour tie against either Chelsea or Barcelona in the last 16 phase of the Champions League.
Thank you, Simon. Now we're staying with football. 2 Newcastle United legends with Champions League experience have returned to grassroots football to see the difference being made by Premier League funding.
Shola Amiobi and Shay Given paid a visit to Heaton Stallington in Newcastle, touring the new facilities before training with their first team. Will Hardy went along. He sent us this report.
Seeing old friends and going back to where it all started. Some things about lower league football have changed a lot since these two made their way through the ranks. New rooms, new bar, new trophy, and all topped off with a cup of tea. It was a bit different the last time Shola was here.
You know, I grew up, went to school down the road, so it's great to be back. Spent a few nights here playing against Heaton Stan for Newcastle, the youth team as well. It's really good to be back. All of us, myself, Shay, we all started at grassroots level.
The club has been given £250,000 from the Premier League Stadium Fund over the years. Shay's impressed by the facilities.
It brings me back to when I was a kid, actually, in Ireland and stuff, you know, not as good as, this is much better setup than I had, but you could change in the bar and go down and play in the local team. But I think the facilities, you look around and how the things improved over the last number of years, it's even now we're sitting here in one of the function rooms, there's this VIP hospitality suite upstairs, there's a new bar next door. So I think they're trying to improve the game day experience.
Silverware's been key, but so has bringing through the next generation.
I came in about 5 years ago. I came in with the explicit role as director of bringing in juniors and setting up a junior section. Alongside that, there's been unprecedented growth from both of our first team and our reserve team. First team in particular have had 2 promotions and culminated in winning the Senior Cup at St James's Park, which for all of us is something we'll never forget last season.
After it all, it was time to brave the elements. Still, there was time to show off the gloves. It would take more than a bit of rain to dampen enthusiasm, and the Heaton Stanley players were understandably keen to impress. It's not every day you get to score past a former Premier League goalkeeper, after all. Back of the net, and it all ended with a photo finish. Will Hardy, ITV News, Newcastle.
That was great. Shola and Shay were well up for that, weren't they?
We're really enjoying it,
Good to see. Great facilities there at Heaton Stand as well.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
really good. Now, to a pair of brothers who've been making us chuckle for more than 4 decades. The adult comic, Viz, came to life in 1979. It was made here, in a bedroom in Newcastle.
Famous for poking fun at life, and of course the outrageous characters like Sid the Sexist, Roger Melly off the telly. It was the idea and work of 2 brothers and their mates. Chris and Simon Donald were key to this, and they've now produced a special edition comic in the Viz style to mark North Shields' 800th anniversary. Helen Carnell has been hearing about their latest creations.
Spoiler alert, we have removed the rude bits.
New blue air is blowing above the northeast coast, and you're not fazed by Viz's Payne filth. Codswallop and chips will land like a big wet kiss and a squeeze from a saucier, more surreal side to North Shields that only its creators could seek out.
Didn't want a gun in their mind.
We always had this thing at Viz that we would be sort of taking the mick out of both ends of society, and that sort of can be seen quite extremely in North Shields.
I actually embedded myself in North Shields for a couple of months. I lived here literally undercover, sort of spying, just to get the feel of it. And we had a little meeting at the art gallery where we invited people to come and suggest ideas involving real local characters. And so we did, but what we tend to do is be a bit naughty and not tell people that they're going to be in it. That's our modus operandi, which is how we always used to work in the old days with this.
Baseball bat-wielding barmaid Betty Badoop is based on Christopher Badoo's late grandmother.
Her reputation is well known. She had a very much no-nonsense attitude, especially in the pubs that she ran. People knew not to mess with her.
Boo boo Badoo.
She would be really flattered to have been immortalised in this controversial way. It's so nice to still hear people talking about her all these years later.
Ooh, this looks interesting.
Yes, a heritage micropub. Let's take a closer look.
A skit on a pretentious micropub called Enema Pap is based on the real-life Enigma Tap. And Barry, from his eponymous fruit and veg shop, is enjoying his 5 squared centimetres of fame.
It's amazing. I'm so happy about it. I've even framed it and put it on the office with more. And the way it's got Eat Stay Cute on it, I think it's brilliant.
Have we met?
I'm your wife.
Oh yeah, so you are.
Viz was once one of the biggest selling magazines in the country. Buses even toured celebrated sites that inspired its sketches. But its latest spin-off will have a maximum of just 800 sales, so you'll have to be quick if you want to take the new leap or wait 8 centuries for the next.
We could go around the country because it's a nostalgic item.
In the meantime, just who and where will Simon and Chris send up next? Well, they're staying close to home for now. Helen Carnell, ITV News.
So good. Right, just the characters and
Some
the
real
sayings,
talent there, isn't there?
The drawing's amazing. I love that. I actually got like a bit of a laughter tear in my eyes.
I love that Chris says he was undercover in the community for a couple of months to get the characters.
Like spotting yourself.
Nailed it, lads. Nailed it.
Right,
Hello.
okay, hello Ross.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Yes.
Happy Lunar New Year.
Yes.
Happy Shrove Tuesday.
Yes.
Oh,
Lots
Pancake
happening,
Day, yeah.
Pancake Day. There's a lot going
yeah.
on today. 47 days till Easter, 11 days till the end of meteorological winter.
Wow,
Feeling
it's all
like winter
happening.
at the moment, of course. Very chilly out there. Got below -3 last night, but we get all that sunshine to compensate for that. That's the deal at this time of year. Our coldest temperatures come with our clearest skies. Obviously, last week there was a bit more in the way of cloud around, so temperatures may be dropping quite as low. Depending what you like, the bright and chilly or cloudy, but not as cold. There's a bit of everything as we look ahead to the forecast, so let's take a look.
Visibility is clear today, both above and below the water. TUI sponsors ITV Tyne weather.
The clear spells that brought decent sunshine today will just allow temperatures to dip down overnight. Again, it is turning chilly into tomorrow morning, some frost and ice around first thing. Bright spells greet us as we get up, but there's more in the way of cloud. Should stay dry though, still very much a chill in those breezes, although they are switching direction coming up from the south as we head into tomorrow, and that's thanks to this area of low pressure trying to push its way in from the west. Now, there is some wet weather across parts of the UK. It should stay towards the south of us, and really for us, it's not until Friday we see the next system making its move across our part of the world. So a squeeze on the isobars, some blustery winds as we end the week, and patchy rain spreading its way in from the west. Ahead of that though, it is looking dry. In fact, overnight for the most part we do hold on to those clearer skies. The widespread blue here showing those temperatures dipping down to around freezing, so the risk of frost and ice. Winds starting to change direction as we head into tomorrow morning. The cloud is beginning to increase, temperatures hovering at around freezing as we start the day tomorrow. So yes, first thing tomorrow morning, there's a definite chill in the air, there's more in the way of cloud. As we saw today, very small chance of just a few showers trying to fringe their way in from the North Sea, but really it should stay dry. Occasional brighter breaks and sunny spells developing into the afternoon. We're looking at highs of 4 or 5 degrees, the wind's starting to pick up, there's a chill in those winds, so again, with the wind chill factored in, we are looking at temperatures feeling close to around -1 or -2. Later Wednesday and into Thursday, this messy picture starts to clear through, so overnight we're seeing clearer skies, again a cold, frosty start to the day on Thursday morning, but there is plenty of sunshine around. Holding on to that sunshine through Thursday into Friday though, the low pressure's moving its way in from the west, turning wetter and windier.
TUI sponsors ITV Tyne weather.
Thank you, Ross. Next up, it's the national and international news.
I'll be back here tonight with your late update at 10:30. Hope to see you then. From all of us, have a great evening. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.